Close your eyes and think back to 5 years ago. Remember what a $100,000 salary meant in Canada? It was the gold standard. It meant you'd made it. It meant a detached house in the suburbs of Calgary or a high-end condo in Toronto. It meant a reliable SUV, 2 vacations a year, and a savings account that actually grew every month. But now, open your bank app, you're making that same 6-figure income, yet you're standing in Loblaws or Sobeys, staring at a pack of chicken breasts that cost $28, and you're wondering if you accidentally walked into a jewelry store. You're working harder, your title is better, but your lifestyle is shrinking faster than a wool sweater in a hot dryer. Let's be honest, you feel like you're losing a game where the rules keep changing. You got the degree from a top Canadian university, you're paying your high Canadian taxes, and you did everything the system told you to do. Yet the math isn't adding up. My name is the security brain, and my job is to protect your most valuable asset, your financial sanity. Today, I'm opening a cold case on the biggest thief in Canadian history. It's not just the carbon tax, and it's not just your overpriced Rogers or Bell cell phone bill. It's something economists call a shadow inflation. And it's the reason why you feel broke in one of the richest countries on earth. If you're tired of being gaslit by the Bank of Canada telling you inflation is back to 2%, while your cost of living is screaming, hit that subscribe button. We're about to deconstruct the lie you've been living in. The government tells you inflation is low, but here's what your security brain knows. The way they measure inflation is rigged. They use something called the CPI, but they constantly swap things out. If a steak becomes too expensive, they swap it for ground beef in their calculations and say, look, prices are stable. This is called substitution bias. But let's talk about the elephant in the room that the CPI ignores, the Canadian housing trap. In 1990, the average Canadian home cost about $150,000. That was roughly 3 to 4 times the average household income. Back then, a single earner could buy a home and support a family. Today, the national average is over $700,000, and in cities like Toronto or Vancouver, it's $1.1 million plus. We are now looking at 10 to 12 times the average income. Think about the psychological toll of that. While your parents could pay off a mortgage in 15 years, you're struggling to pay $2,800 for a 1-bedroom basement suite in Mississauga or Burnaby. You aren't just paying rent, you're paying a survival tax because the system failed to build enough homes. And it's not just housing. Look at the Daily Essentials Index. A head of lettuce that was $1.50 is now $5. A block of butter that was $3.50 is now $8.99. A dozen eggs that cost $2.50 now mock you at $6. This isn't 2% or 3% inflation. When your grocery bill doubles in 3 years, that is a direct attack on your wealth. This gap between your 3% annual raise and the 50% jump in food prices is the shadow where your future disappears. As a brain, I can tell you exactly what this is doing to your biology. When your income is high, let's say $100,000, but your surplus is zero, you enter a state of high-functioning poverty. In Canada, we have this polite version of a struggle. You look successful on LinkedIn, you drive a financed car that looks great in the driveway, but you're sweating at the checkout counter. Your amygdala, the fear center, is constantly triggered. It doesn't matter that you earn six figures, your brain feels the scarcity. This leads to decision fatigue. Every single day, you're burning mental glucose on micro decisions. Should I take the 407 ETR and save time, or save the $15? Is the generic brand pasta really that different? Can I afford to take my kids to a movie this weekend? By the time you finish your commute on the GO train or the SKY train, your brain is exhausted. You're too tired to learn about the TSX, too drained to start that side business, and too stressed to think long term. This is the ultimate trap. The system keeps you just rich enough to keep working, but too exhausted to ever actually get free. This is how the Canadian middle class is being quietly erased. So how do we fight a thief that is backed by the central bank? First, stop playing by the 1980s rules. The old Canadian dream of work hard, put a little in your RRSP, and retire at 65 is dead. In the age of shadow inflation, cash is a liability. If you have $20,000 sitting in a high-interest savings account at a Big 5 bank earning 0.5%, you aren't saving money. You are losing $1,500 of purchasing power every single year. You must move from being a consumer to being an owner. The 1% in Canada don't work for a T4 slip alone. They own assets. When the Bank of Canada prints more money, the price of assets, stocks, real estate, and businesses goes up. If you don't own assets, you are the one paying for the inflation through your devalued labor. You need to leverage the Canadian tools available to you. Max out that TFSA with low-cost index funds. Look into the First Home Savings Account, FHSA. Start a high-margin side business that allows you to write off expenses. You need to reach velocity, where your money earns more in a day than you do. The goal isn't just to have a high salary, it's to change your identity. You are no longer a salary man. You are the CEO of your own wealth. When you hit that first $10,000 in productive assets, the fear begins to fade. When you hit $100,000, the shadow inflation can no longer control your life. Shadow inflation is a hidden tax on the Canadian people. It's designed to keep you productive but poor. But now, the security brain has given you the intel. You know why you feel broke. It's not because you're lazy or bad with money. It's because the purchasing power of your time is being stolen. I want to hear from you. What is the most insane price increase you've seen in your local Canadian city this month? Is it the rent? The gas? The $10 cauliflower? Let's expose the shadow together in the comments. I'm the security brain. Stay alert, stay invested, and I'll see you in the next briefing on the Canadian coin.